Just clicked it.
Test. Ooh, now it's completely. That's fine. I don't need headphones.
Is it too loud?
No.
Just turn it down.
No, I turned it down too much. We're good. We're fine.
Okay, so let's try this again, folks.
Yeah. Are we here? That's not it. There we go. Hello.
Welcome back. Sorry about that. We had to switch to a different camera. We're still trying to figure out this whole setup. So I was talking about the demise of my beloved pet while we were adjusting video settings. So I don't know that we need to go back through that.
No.
How are you doing, dude?
I'm all right. I'm moving.
What's been going on in Charles's world?
My life is going just as terrible. No, it's not at all. I am currently in the middle of a move.
Yes.
It is a thing that is happening that I haven't done in years and years and years and years. Now I'm moving, and it's stressful for everybody involved, and I'm done. I'm done. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. We had a garage sale this weekend, and it went pretty well, right? But
now see, I get to the point where I basically don't leave my house for a while. And so when you said you were doing a garage sale, my initial thought was like, people still do those? Like in the age of Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, the fact that people still drive around and like go to a yard sale, that's a thing. And I realized that it wasn't necessarily a surprise, but at the same time, I don't want to say it's antiquated because it's not, but it's like, I just don't even think about those options anymore.
Right. I grew up on garage sales. I love garage sales.
Same here.
They are wonderful. It's a great way to spend your weekend. I highly recommend it if you are just newly starting to date somebody and want to do something different and unique. Take them to a garage sale for a date.
For a date? Tell me about that.
Okay. You don't know what you're going to find, and you're going to learn more about somebody's interests and what they're into based on what they pull out of the garage sale. It's a very good way to figure out who a person is on a first date.
And you've done this before?
No, I've never done this before. But somebody did it to me this weekend, and I thought it was the best idea I had seen in a long time.
That is a fantastic idea.
So
yeah.
Yep.
The next first date I have, I'll have to take them to a yard sale.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so let's see. Hold on really quick. Yeah, okay, cool. Yes, cool. We're here. We're doing the stream. I've got a list of things that we're going to talk about today. KK is not here today. KK is in the chat currently.
Yeah, shouts out KevCat. How are you?
Hello, my friend. It is a day without KK, and it's always a sad day without KK.
It is a sad day.
But
KK lives on in our hearts.
So, quick NoCoFM. Is there anything that we want to talk about when it comes to NoCoFM that's going on?
We're starting to prep for New West Fest.
Yes.
So that's exciting. We unfortunately did not get approved for press for the Underground Music Showcase in Denver.
We were just too late, or
I don't know. They only respond to you if you're approved. So I don't necessarily know why. My guess is, we're the new kid on the block, and we hadn't done a lot of demonstrable coverage that they could see.
Right.
So maybe next year it'll be a different story. Yeah. But I think
honestly,
I'm good with it because it gives us the chance to really focus on New West Fest, which is really one of the cornerstones of like the Fort Collins cultural community and the Northern Colorado music community. Yep. So being able to devote all of our resources and energy toward that instead of trying to do 2 festivals in the span of like 3 weeks, I think is a good thing.
Yeah. I think so too. I think it's gonna be good for us. It's gonna be good for the station. The only other thing that I'm gonna add about what's going on is we recorded the next episode of Talk and Roll. We're recording one more before we start airing them again. It went really well.
I was surprised, yeah, because you guys were in and out of the studio pretty fast, which for Talk and Roll is like 2 hours.
Yes.
But the fact that it wasn't 4 hours is kind of a miracle because sometimes it takes a while to get there.
So, we had an actual hard out for myself and for somebody else. I can't remember. But we had a hard out, which was really good. We knew what we were doing. We jumped in. We knew what was going on. It was quick, concise. It was hilarious. Probably our best episode to date. and I think that we have an idea of how to move forward with the show.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's really good. I'm still not gonna release things until it's ready. Until
Sure.
we are ready to start releasing again. So beginning of August, game plan. And we probably won't add video until we get this straightened out. But that's no biggie. You know, like that's not.
Yeah,
the biggest
I think
problem.
that's only going to be like that's going to be a big step for the show, and then like that's one of the reasons we're doing this live show on Mondays is to test out different configurations and see how this whole live streaming and video recording stuff works. Because even though both you and I have a lot of experience in video production, streaming production is kind of uncharted for us.
Yeah. I think especially streaming in the way that we are streaming currently.
Yeah.
You know, we've worked on streaming where we were behind the scenes for streaming, but when you're like doing the show live yourselves, it's much different to do. It's like currently, Chris is using that computer over here by utilizing it through this computer here,
Right.
so that we can see what's going on, and it's a lot. So.
Yeah, I mean it's a work in progress, and like I've done a few live streams professionally for clients, but it was not this, right? It was like a lunch and learn where there was just like one camera and usually very like crappy audio, and just like bringing up PowerPoint slides was the hardest stuff I had to do.
Right.
But you know, we're trying to compete in the podcasting world, and there's a lot of video components to podcasts now, so it makes sense to do that.
Totally.
Another thing I realized, the provider that we use for our podcast hosting does not support video podcasts.
But they do pretty much everything else that we need.
They do pretty much everything else that we need. Hey, KevCat's in the chat. Awesome. Welcome, KevCat. We love you. We miss you. And how are you feeling? I heard you had kind of a rough go of it today.
Yes.
How's that going?
So, next up on our list of things is the favorite bit here on NoCoFM's NoCo live show, energy drink, Charles's energy drink corner.
Yes.
Now,
I thought it was theater.
God
Energy
damn it.
drink corner theater.
I haven't done
Theater
it in
corner.
weeks, so I don't remember.
It's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks since I've done the show, so I don't remember.
The mind goes these days.
The mind goes. So, what?
Yes.
Okay, it's been sitting for a minute, so this may not be the best. It may change our mind. So on how things taste here, because it has been sitting for a hot minute,
Yes.
or a cold minute if we're thinking there.
Okay.
So, what do you think? Before we begin, what do you think is in this bag?
Taco Bell 5-layer burrito.
It's not a Taco Bell 5-layer burrito.
Damn it.
Keep going. It's something that you won't expect. The bag is kind of misleading here.
As I say, because if the energy drink is like a packet of fire sauce, I'm gonna murder you.
No, it's not a packet. It's not a packet of fire sauce.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
I'm scared.
here we go.
Should I be scared? Should I? Is it one of those things where like I reach in and feel it? Should I do that?
Yeah, go ahead. Reach in and
Oh,
feel it.
okay. That's not a drink. Wait a second. This is not drinks. Wait, what is?
There's some. Okay,
But
so
is it the thing in the box or the thing in the bag?
the thing in the box.
Okay. Should I pull it out?
No, not yet. Not yet. Yeah.
Don't pull out yet.
Because I'm gonna give you something just in case it's not as good as we hope.
Oh.
We got some extra stuff here. Now, I'm going to pull this out, and I'm really excited for this.
Charles
And I
is
hope that
pulling
you
it
are
out.
too. We've got the KFC Cheetos Sandwich here today, folks.
Okay. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yes. So this is a chicken sandwich with Cheetos on it, with a cheese sauce as well. So it's
Okay.
and it's
I'm
you've got,
into this.
You've got Chester Cheetah here, and I'll get it a little bit closer. As the box, it looks like Chester Cheetah, which is really cool.
It does.
The mouth opens up, so it's
That
got
is
little
on
teeth.
brand.
So it's very on brand. Now here's the thing: the sandwich itself is very simple. It's a very simple sandwich. It is chicken. It is Cheetos. It is like a cheese sauce and mayonnaise.
Okay, that makes sense for chicken. Now, when you say Cheetos, Is it like solid Cheetos or is it like Cheeto dust like the Taco Bell like Doritos Locos Tacos?
So when you buy it and eat it immediately, it's actual Cheetos. Now this sandwich has been sitting,
but it no longer is.
This sandwich has been
Cheetos.
sitting, so this may change our mind here a little bit. Now here's the thing. I've seen a lot of reviews on this sandwich, and none of it is good.
You've been doing research on this?
Yes,
on this sandwich?
I have seen a lot of people reviewing this sandwich, and none of it is good.
Okay, great.
So, asterisk.
That fills me with confidence.
I have changed what is on the sandwich to try to make it good.
Wait, have you actually tried the sandwich in its naked form?
No.
But you've already modified it.
I've already modified the sandwich. Now,
you're a mad scientist.
Okay, now hear me out. People complained about the mayonnaise, about how the mayonnaise and cheese don't mix. Like that flavor profile is kind of weird and doesn't make sense with the cheese that's already on there.
I guess I can kind of see that, yeah.
So I removed the mayonnaise altogether. And I thought, what is better than Cheetos? Flamin' hot Cheetos. So I removed the mayonnaise and I added a little bit of hot sauce.
But we don't have a control.
The control is I don't give a flying fuck. This is the Charles Kelly sandwich. I created this.
But have you tried it? Have you tried the Charles Kelly sandwich?
I have not. This may be a trash fire.
So this is your signature sandwich that you have not actually tasted yourself.
Exactly.
Excellent.
And from what I hear, KFC didn't try the sandwich before they started releasing it. Just like their peach Mountain Dew that tastes like cough syrup. Have you tried that?
No, I didn't realize that was a thing.
It's called Sweet Lightning. It is a peach and honey Mountain Dew. It is gross. It's not just gross. It's gross. It's not good. I highly. They're owned by the same company, by the way. KFC, Taco Bell, Mountain Dew, the Pepsi, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
They're all owned by the same corporate company. But here's the thing that I want to mention before we get into things. The crew of the KFC Taco Bell, which is why there's a Taco Bell back here.
Right.
It's the combination. We're so impressed with my ordering skills. They gave us free cookies to go along. They were like, wow, this dude knows his goddamn food. Here's some cookies. So, here we are.
And that's our music director, Corbin, calling me when we're on a live show that he knows about. So, should we talk to Corbin and get his input?
Answer it and say, Corbin, you're live on NoCo Live.
Hey, Corbin, you're live on NoCo Live. What's up?
Put him on speakerphone, goddammit.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I'm going to put you on speaker.
Hold on, you're on speakerphone.
You'll have me on speaker now? Wonderful.
Yes.
I'm watching the home run derby.
Nice.
Guerrero Jr. is a giant-butted green warrior.
Okay, we're going to eat a sandwich now, so we'll talk to you here in a bit.
Yeah, we're go watch us on Twitch. We're eating sandwiches.
Oh, good.
Sandwich, singular. There's only one.
We're eating a sandwich that Charles created but has not tried himself.
I'm hearing every third word that you're saying.
Okay,
right
we'll
now.
God damn it. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Corbin Hallball, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so first off, we're gonna look at. Okay, this looks like KFC.
It appears to be a sandwich.
It appears to be. None of those Cheetos are really on the sandwich.
Well, no, hold on. There's. Oh, I thought I saw one.
It's underneath. It's all underneath. So we've got a few Cheetos underneath. So let's pull this open. Let's get that spread going. So you've got Cheetos underneath.
The Cheetos spread.
3 or 4 Cheetos underneath. You got the chicken. KFC's chicken is hit or miss.
I like their chicken.
Yeah, their chicken's good.
I'm a fan of their chicken.
And then the sauce on top, which is their jalapeno sauce. I think it looks like their jalapeno sauce from Taco Bell.
So wait, clarify this for me. You didn't take this home and then add these ingredients and subtract things yourselves. You actually customized the sandwich when you ordered it.
Fuck yeah, I did.
Wow. All right. That's impressive.
All right.
So you're like, I don't know exactly what this vanilla thing is, but I don't like it, and I want you to replace these things.
What does it smell like? Smells like Cheetos.
It smells like Cheetos and a little bit. It also smells kind of like buffalo chicken.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was going for, like a buffalo chicken sandwich with the Cheetos on it. That's kind of what I was hoping for.
I'm into it.
So, without further ado, this has been sitting for a hot. Oh God.
Yee. We're gonna need napkins.
All right. Hopefully they give me some. We'll see. Here we go. The first taste of Charles's signature sandwich.
Hey, Mikey, I think he likes it.
Give it a try. See what you think.
Right. This is our blind test, right? Like we don't say what we think until everybody's had a chance to try it. All right.
Fuckers didn't give me napkins. I don't think they added any of the hot sauce. I don't taste any hot sauce on there.
I don't either, but I taste a shitload of Cheetos.
So, I made sure to come prepared because these fuckers don't know what they're doing.
Okay, I just want to point out that I was partially right about the fire sauce.
Yeah, you got to come prepared.
No, earlier when I said if it's just a packet of fire sauce, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's not just a packet of fire sauce.
Motherfucker.
It was multiple packets of fire sauce and a sandwich. So we're gonna do a little bit. Okay, so that's kind of like the basis. Think of that sandwich, which is pretty good. It tastes like a cheesy sandwich.
Yeah,
not bad.
I enjoy it. I like it.
I would be more comfortable with it if there was.
But wait, what is that sauce?
That's just
their
cheese sauce.
jalapenos? Oh, that's the cheese sauce.
That's just
Okay.
cheese sauce. Yeah, I don't.
I like how it's like concentrated in one spot.
Right. So this is Taco Bell hot sauce. I don't know if the flavor profile is gonna match very well, but I don't give a fuck. We're trying this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will be right back. I'm grabbing us some napkins. Fire sauce is not hot enough. It really is not.
Well, I mean, it's being drowned out by everything fucking else on there, but
Right.
I like it.
Honestly, this isn't bad. And I think that the reason why it's not bad is because we removed that god-awful mayo.
I don't know. I think chicken and mayo works.
Chicken and mayo works. Chicken, mayo, and cheese. That's the weird part.
Yeah, maybe.
So that's what people are complaining about is that mayonnaise and cheese combination. It's just kind
And
of
now there's
strange.
like weird cheese concoction all over the studio.
Ooh, yummy. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to
One to loved it.
loved it, what do you think for Charles's chicken sandwich? If they fucking made it right, I mean, it'd be good.
I like it. I enjoy it. I would order it again.
Yeah.
But I do want to try the original.
Right. You want to try the original?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you order this before next week to let the audience know?
Yes, I absolutely
By
will.
next week.
I absolutely will.
Here's my recommendation. If you're going to order this sandwich, order it with the Nashville hot chicken that they have for their sandwiches.
Is that what you did? Or is
No,
'cause that
no.
seems like regular chicken.
This is regular chicken.
Okay.
They didn't. It's not like the flavor profile is almost there. It's not good with the Taco Bell hot sauce. It just drowns that fire sauce out. Diablo tastes like ass, so don't get Diablo. It's hot. Diablo is hot enough. It just tastes like a big old poop. So I don't. That's my recommendation. Not a good idea. But get that Nashville hot chicken on there. Get that really nice hot and spicy flavor to it. It'll taste like hot and spicy, or the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be perfect. Maybe a couple pickles.
Pickles would be good. I would like it more with pickles. Because then it would remind me a little bit more, minus the Cheeto part, of like the Music City hot chicken, which is here in Fort Collins. And if you haven't tried it and you're in the area, you definitely should. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you if you haven't tried it and you live here. But and they're not paying us for that or anything. But it's just amazing chicken.
Brought to you by Music City Hot Chicken. Their stickers are fucking rad.
They do have awesome stickers.
Yeah, they have awesome stickers.
Everything about that place is great.
They have a chicken wing that has like sexy legs and like heels on it. It's great.
Yeah. It's pretty good stuff. But yeah, I will definitely try it before next week and come back with a review. What's going on in the chat? KevCat's in here. KevCat gave plasma today, so they feel like they've just been hit by a bus. But KevCat was stoked for the drinks, so not quite a drink tonight, but.
They don't have a drink. They do have chicken nuggets that go along with it that use that same kind of like Cheetos flavor profile.
I'd be okay with that. Taylor's in the chat. Taylor says, "Oh my God, Jake and I tried those sandwiches yesterday." Yeah, what did you guys think? And the real question is, did you try the KFC Sweet Lightning?
Yes.
And what the hell is that?
Okay, that's the peach honey Mountain Dew.
Oh, okay. And it tastes awful.
It's fucking gross. I don't know why they thought that was okay putting out into the world. It tastes bad. It's not good.
So I haven't had a chance to tell you about the new sponsor we just landed. Kentucky Fried Chicken is sponsoring this show. No,
Good.
they're not. No, they're not.
Good.
I wish we had KFC chicken money.
We got that chicken money.
Yeah. That's really what we're missing, before we can take the station to the next level is some chicken money.
Just that
Hashtag chicken money.
We need that. So if you know anybody, we do desperately need that chicken money.
Yeah.
So if you know somebody with
I'm
chicken,
gonna talk to Music City Hot Chicken.
yeah. If you know somebody with chicken and money, let us know in the comment section down below.
Yes, in the comment section down below.
Okay, so
in the chat.
you wanted to talk. Okay, so we wanted to talk really quick about the air conditioner that we put in, because normally we have the heat running in here because it gets nice and chilly in the space. Now it's getting into the summertime. Now we've got an air conditioner,
and now it's kind of hot as balls.
It is a little loud.
It is.
It is. That's fine. Whatever. That's something that can be removed in podcasting. That's not my issue.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the air conditioner that Simone and I just bought for the house.
Okay, tell me about this.
I didn't buy it. Simone bought
it. So we're starting off in a good place.
Yes. So the house already has has an air conditioner, and it's in the girls' bedroom, so the master bedroom. So, but they, two girls live in there, and they have separate beds. Makes more sense for them to live in there.
2 girls, 1 bedroom.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, but they're very young.
They're
Anyways,
children, yeah.
It's fine. So
I'm gonna eat this cookie.
So the air conditioner's in there, and it's a 1-bedroom air conditioner. Like, it's meant specifically for 1 bedroom. Like, it's not supposed to spread around the house, anything like that. So it keeps that room nice and cool. The rest of the house, nope.
Sweltering?
It's a swamp. So we ordered an air conditioner, and by we, I mean Simone. Simone,
now, is this like an air conditioner, or is it like one of those like room swamp cooler things?
It's like one of those where you fill water into it.
Okay. And that's what we have, a little Arctic air that's like the size of like...
Yes.
I don't know, I think your Switch is bigger than it is.
So...
And it does surprisingly well for its size, but continue.
So, I want to ask you, what retailer do you think Simone ordered it from? What renowned retailer did you feel that Simone would order an air conditioner from?
Walgreens.
No. Wish. The online retailer that sells Chinese bootleg things. Wish, the website. We have an air conditioner coming in on the date of ? From the retailer Wish.
Wow. Put a pin in that for a second. Welcome, Keefe Pax, to the chat. If you don't know us, we're NoCoFM. We're actually a podcasting network based in northern Colorado with about 12 original shows running right now. Your question was, what are these people knowledgeable in that gives them the ability to have a podcast? We are
fucking nothing.
God
damn it.
We are professional podcasters. We have a studio. We have lots of stuff. But we did not go to podcasting school because that's not a thing. But we do have a desire to tell stories and share them with people. So that's why we do podcasts. So welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show. This is a live thing that we do every Monday night. So we're glad to have you with us. So air conditioners. She orders an air conditioner from Wish. What kind of quality is this?
It's from Wish.
That's all we need to know.
I don't know. Like, and we haven't gotten it in.
Oh, damn it. I was hoping this was like a review.
We don't know when it will be in because it's from Wish.
Right. So they might put it on a boat next week and you'll see it perhaps in like October.
Yeah, exactly. Wish.
Okay. So why, I assume you had this conversation. Why did Simone order something from Wish?
We didn't have this conversation yet.
Well, you're having it now.
Yes.
Does Simone watch the show? Maybe.
Okay. We'll see. We'll find out. Air conditioner. I want you to talk about the movie you saw this week.
I
almost touched your dick.
Our music director Corbin and I went to see Midsommar on Saturday. Midsommar is a movie directed by Ari Aster, who's the same guy who did Hereditary that came out last year, 2 years ago, somewhere in there. It's about a group of 20-somethings that go to this rural Swedish community to observe their Midsummer festival. Yeah. But it's one of those slow burn horror movies. It's not really a slasher. It's more like the unnerving sense of dread style type of horror. And if you've seen Hereditary, it's very similar in thematically to that. But what's interesting is, I actually read this article today about it, and I'll post it in the chat later. But talking about how the whole premise of the movie is this young woman played by Florence Pugh, who her sister just committed suicide. Her sister is bipolar. Her sister commits suicide and also takes her parents with them. So her entire family is gone in the span of an instant. She is in the middle of a horrible relationship with basically the king of the douchebags. He's apathetic. He's been trying to break up with her for a while, but he's just kind of going along to get along because he's very susceptible and he's not trying to make any waves. And he feels like he can't leave her, especially after her entire family dies. So he's planning this bro trip with his friends to go to this Swedish village as kind of like a, the bro story going abroad sort of thing. Like if you've seen the Hostel movies, it's kind of similar in premise to that. Right. But because he feels like an asshole and a pushover, he invites her on the trip.
Okay.
One of his friends is the Swedish guy who's from this village, and it's, of course, his idea to go back there. And long story short, I mean, spoilers to some degree, but there's a lot of pagan and ritual sacrifice and those sorts of things. So that kind of tells you where the movie is headed.
Right.
But I was reading an interview this morning with the director talking about how this movie is the result of him going through a bad breakup. Because the whole thing is a parable for the breakup and how this woman goes from being codependent and very needy and very like clinging to this guy, even though she knows they shouldn't be together and he's completely checked out. It's about her, in a very strange way, overcoming that codependency and learning to stand on her own again. But the way it gets there is fucking wacky.
Okay. All right. So this is where we have this conversation. I don't do well with horror in the theater.
Yes.
And I've explained this multiple times on who knows how many different shows. I have this like level of empathy when it comes to movies that I kind of get warped into that medium. And in a movie theater setting, I can't remove myself from that. So if anything gets like super cringy, I have to leave. If it gets too much into the horror, I have to leave because I just cannot handle it. I love horror. I love suspense. I love horror. I really do not like not being able to pause things.
Right, and because you need a moment to kind of collect yourself when it gets to when your cup runneth over, right?
Right. So like when it comes to all of that, like I really I feel I'm like within the movie. I become a character within the movie, like while I'm watching things. So when it comes to horror, I tend to watch things at home where I can, where
you can set the pace.
Yeah, where I can set the pace, where I can realize that I'm in this world and not the movie world, it's much easier for me.
It gives you a moment to kind of ground yourself and take yourself out of that situation so that it doesn't become so overwhelming that you freak out.
Right. Now, there are exceptions. I do go see a few horror movies here and there, especially when it comes to like suspense. But when it comes to like gore, when it comes to like jump scares, that kind of horror, I cannot handle. When it comes to like suspense and like fucked up shit, I love that. I love feeling like shit leaving a movie theater. But I cannot stand like, scare. Oh, I scared you. I got you.
Right. And in Midsummer specifically, there's not much in terms of jump scares. In fact, I can't think of any. There's one sudden thing that happens that is not really a jump scare, but it's just like, someone gets, clubbed in the head out of nowhere. But it's not terribly surprising, the way it's set up. It's more of like this kind of like just slow burn of unnerving kind of uncertainty about what's happening and where it's going.
So I think I may actually be able to watch this movie in the theaters.
Well, you should. It was a really good movie. It's very, very well acted by Florence Pugh. She's the main character in the film. Other than her, you have her boyfriend and his like 3 friends, and they're all kind of very stereotypical men. You have the one guy who is all about kind of knowledge and doesn't really sees emotion as something to overcome. So you've got that guy. You have the other guy who's just like your textbook case male chauvinist, kind of scumbag. And then you have the Swedish friend who has at first what seem like ulterior motives, but by the end of the movie, and this is what I thought was really interesting, is that you don't know it. Some will see it and think it's a happy ending, that his ends justified the means, and that where Florence Pugh's character arrives by the end of the movie is a positive place.
Right.
So it's really strange. I mean, it's certainly open for interpretation in that respect. And I don't know that I can say too much more about it without spoiling bits, but it's really interesting from that kind of like socio-political point of view.
Right.
Is this woman taking this journey to overcome her pain and her past, but the way that she gets there and what she goes through and what all of the characters go through is a really tense experience.
Okay. Hell yeah! So that's probably if I it's either that or Spider-Man. I got Spider-Man kind of spoiled for me, but like in the end, like I don't really care about spoilers. I like I'm more of the journey kind of a person.
Same here. I mean, it depends. Like if someone had spoiled Infinity War for me or Endgame, I would have been upset,
right?
Because I had a lot invested in that franchise, and that was kind of the point, right? But some things like plot points in movies. That doesn't really bother me too much because I like to take the journey. I like to go on the adventure, and it's not about the destination, right? But at the same time, if you immediately see a movie and you start posting online all of the twists and turns of it, that's kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
And I realize that like that's become kind of fashionable on the internet, but I don't know. I don't understand why people do that.
Right. So I recently. I watched all of Stranger Things. It started in Denver at about 1:00 in the morning. By about noon, I was done that day with it. So I watched it like straight through, like pretty much straight through.
So you just insomniac the whole thing?
Yeah. Yes, very much so.
Healthy.
But somebody posted spoilers. So like. On my Facebook, and this is one of the reasons why I hate Facebook. Somebody said this like verbatim, you motherfuckers spoiled Endgame for me, so I'm gonna spoil the end of Stranger Things. And then they posted all the spoilers for Stranger Things. Not just to one individual who did that to them, but to their entire feed. And I was like, fuck you. Like, if I had waited a few hours and didn't have it done by noon, you would have spoiled the biggest twist of season 3 to me. And I would have been like, fuck off. That is terrible. Like, so,
and this was a friend of yours?
yeah, not anymore.
Did you and they have words?
I told them, like, I asked them why they would do it, and it says seen, read. So, but whatever. Like,
but he didn't have the balls to respond.
Yeah, she did not.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine.
I was confused by the pronouns.
No response. But it's still so fucked up that somebody feels the need to post that and ruin it for everybody who would potentially want to watch it.
Absolutely, like, because okay, here's the thing, and I think it goes with all kind of social media. It's not just Facebook that's endemic of the problem, but if you don't want to be spoiled by something, then stay off of Facebook until you've seen it.
Right.
Which I realize for most people, like there are a lot of people who like live on Facebook or live on Twitter or whatever, and I'm not denigrating that in any way. But if you know that there's a popular culture thing that you want to ensure you experience the way you want to experience it, then you have to exercise some self-control and make sure that take steps to make sure that doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. However, that being said, your now ex-friend was completely in the wrong for doing that because they saw, and this is, I think, kind of the real danger of social networks is people feel empowered to, there's that term of like hide behind a keyboard or whatever, but it kind of is. People feel empowered to do things that they would not do IRL, right? Like there's a certain amount of anonymity and a certain amount of power that you have by not confronting people with things you say that you would feel comfortable saying online that you would not say to someone in person. Mm-hmm. And because like meme culture and so much of like Twitter especially, in fact, I would argue that Twitter is worse for this than Facebook is like that kind of like running cycle of vitriol that never seems to stop. And there's, I don't know, like, is it too fucking hard to be nice?
Yeah, I mean, like, here's where I stand. Why would I want to ruin anything for anybody? Why would I want to spoil even movies that have been out for decades? Why would I want to, if somebody hadn't seen Star Wars, why would I spoil Empire Strikes Back for them if they didn't know what was coming? What about
at least if you didn't know that?
Yeah.
I think and I don't know whether there's a magic cutoff number, but I think if you're talking in a group of people and you casually mention something about Empire and one of the people in the group hasn't seen it, that's not on you.
Yeah,
but if you know, hey, this person hasn't seen Star Wars and they don't want to be spoiled, and you spoil it anyway, then that's pretty
right.
fucked up.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when it comes to like big moments like that, I try to like limit that from a majority of my conversations in general, anyways. Just because like I don't want to be that person that ruins. And it's not necessarily ruining, but like Empire Strikes Back wouldn't be where it was without the big spoilers. There.
Without the reveal,
yeah, without the reveal. Same thing with Sixth Sense. Same thing with Seven. Like all of these like big movies wouldn't be if. That and why would I want to spoil a whole movie for somebody?
True.
There's a video game that I really like. It's called The Witness, and it's a puzzle game, and it's all about like exploring this island. If I were to like spoil anything, like how to solve a puzzle, it would ruin the game for you, like 100%. Like if because the game teaches you how to solve things without you realizing it, and if I were to spoil that, it would ruin the entire game for you because you would know, and then
because the experience is lost. Yeah,
you would lose that experience. Why would I want to be that person that ruins that experience for you? I don't want to do that.
Right.
So I just don't understand why people don't see that too. It blows my mind.
I don't understand it, but again, it goes back to people feeling confident in doing things online that they wouldn't do in real life. Because if that person were standing in front of you and they tried to do that shit, that wouldn't happen.
Oh yeah.
And if they did try to do it, you would shut them down.
Oh yeah.
But because they feel comfortable, they feel powerful by having a layer, an abstraction between you and them, that I don't know. It turns people ugly and it turns people mean.
Right. And Corbin says to post fake spoilers.
Yes. Welcome, Corbin, to the chat. He says that's why I always post fake spoilers.
Right.
Muddy the waters. For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. I want to read you this email that I got from Nintendo regarding last week's episode of NoCo Live, where Kat and I played Super Mario Maker and created the most beautiful level
Okay.
that the world has ever seen. It says, nickname
Humble brag.
Charles, thank you for using Nintendo Switch. The content you posted in-game has been deleted because it violates Nintendo's account user agreement, including the Nintendo Code of Conduct. Title of the game, Super Mario Maker 2. Content was a course. Date time posted was 7/01/2019 at 8:41 p.m. Violation. Sexually explicit content. This is Nintendo's final decision. If violations continue, other actions, such as restricting your usage of Nintendo's account services, may be taken.
Okay, so we need some context here. What the hell?
What did I create?
And I was not on last week's show, and I actually have not had a chance to watch it yet. So what the fuck did you put in your Mario level?
So the game...
What did you create, a level called like Chomo Island or something?
No. The world starts... It starts with you're on land, and you go up a pipe, right? And you go up a pipe, and you see these two beautiful clouds and this pillar that erects from them.
Erect pillar. Hashtag erect pillar.
And you go through the level as the level goes up, so it goes up through the level. You climb through the tower, and it's a fun level. It's actually fun. This is where I want to say, like, this level that we created was fun. I enjoyed playing it. Other people liked it and enjoyed playing it as well, because it was an interesting level. It wasn't just for the gag, right? But once you reach the top of the tower that's in the clouds, the castle in the clouds, as it were, the peak of the castle, or the peak of the tower.
I don't like where this is going.
And there was a 50 coin up there that you would click, and as soon as you click the coin, fireworks come out of the top of the tower. And that's,
was the tower long and slender? The top of the tower.
It had some girth to it.
Okay,
so
did it look like a dick?
It was a penis. And the clouds down at the bottom were the balls.
Yeah, can't imagine why Nintendo would have a problem with that.
Do you know what the level's called?
No.
Snitches get stitches.
Oh my god!
Because we knew these motherfuckers were going to snitch on us, and if I find out who did this, I'm coming for you, motherfuckers.
Wait, how soon after you finished the level and like published it did Nintendo take it down?
That email came this morning. It was a whole week.
Wow.
It was up. The tower was up for a whole week. And from what I hear, if it's up for more than 4 hours, you should go see your doctor.
So in the chat, let's see. KevCat saying hashtag free my dick. Taylor saying I'm here for the dick. Yeah, you are. KevCat saying it was a glorious dong. So is the level just deleted from history? And Sarah's in the chat saying just the peak. So yeah, just the tip, just the peak. So is it like deleted forever?
It's deleted forever. They even removed it from my account. But here's the thing.
Wow.
It still exists on Twitch. And don't you think for a second that I won't create a vagina level next.
Yeah, but what happens if Nintendo like bans you for life?
Okay.
Turns your Switch into a brick.
They won't turn into a brick. They'll just remove me for being able to play online with other people.
Like he's not responsible enough to be able to play with others.
Exactly.
Hashtag but Charles can't play with others.
I understand Nintendo's like, yes, I don't want sexually explicit content on our system.
On a platform designed for children.
Right. However, the level itself was not just ha 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 ha, it's a dick. It was actually interesting. It was fun to play. It was, to be completely frank, like a fun level that would have been considered a fun level if it was made by some of the actual designers of the game.
Sure.
Like if it was just you going up a tower and you have to dodge things, and it didn't have the tip and the exploding fireworks at the top.
Well, I think the veins is where you went too far.
It did have veins. It 100% had veins. And
for the record, I have not seen this yet. I'm just assuming it had veins.
It did. It was great.
Maybe that was a bridge too far.
So, but
A vein too far.
vein too far. But like, you would
Hashtag don't be so.
you would
vain.
jump between the veins to get to the top. Is just like the whole idea.
That's how it works, right? In health class.
Exactly.
They show you to jump between the veins.
But I get it. I get it. That's all I'm saying. I'm making jokes here, but Nintendo, I understand. You don't like penises. I get it. I totally understand. The level that I'm making right now is a big old butthole. So we've got that going. Joking. The level that I'm making right now,
mountain.
the new level that I'm working on right now is super cool. I'm really excited to show it to the world. I'm gonna probably make Chris play it here in a little bit. It's almost done.
Nice.
We'll get there.
For as long as your account exists, which will be suspended at any moment.
What else we got?
I mean, what do you guys think? Like, seriously, like, should Nintendo have done this? Like, is it fair for them to censor? I mean, obviously it's legal and it's their service or whatever, but what do you guys think? Was that too harsh?
No, it wasn't too harsh.
In the chat, let's see.
We knew it was going to happen. That's why we named it Snitches Get Stitches. We understood that this was going to be deleted. I'm surprised, honestly, that it happened as late as it did. I was expecting it to happen like within a day or two max.
Why didn't you call it Mount Veiny?
No, because then it's obvious, right?
Oh, it wasn't obvious before?
But no, it's obvious when you play it, but you don't want to like jump into the game and then like, oh, this one's going to be a giant penis. Ha ha ha. No, you jump in and then you're playing the level and then you get to the top and then you realize it's a penis. Was the whole idea.
It's the Easter egg.
Yeah.
It's like the Dick Castle in Little Mermaid.
Exactly. Which
brings us to Disney's recent announcement, or I don't know if they officially announced it or if it was leaked, but the announcement that for the first time, Ariel will be played by a black actress. Mm-hmm. I am honestly very upset that people were so upset by this.
Okay, good. Yeah.
You know what? For whether you're like a Puritan about it or not, whether you think that live action remakes should adhere to what you liked about the original, I'm not taking issue with that. I'm taking issue with the fact that people were so fucking mad about it that they were threatening boycotts and I just wonder, if you could take some of that anger and use it towards something useful that you might actually have some bearing on or some stake in. Like, if you don't like the choice about a movie, your decision's simple. Don't go see the fucking movie. Mm-hmm. But, I liken this to the people that have also petitioned for Star Wars Last Jedi to be redone or for Game of Thrones to be redone. It does not affect you. You don't have a right to demand that it be changed simply because you don't like the decision.
Right.
You're not owed anything from these people. These people are making a commercial product, and you as a consumer have the right to choose to buy it, watch it, or don't. And that's it. That's where the transaction ends. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't understand it.
Okay. Conspiracy theory time. I think that fewer people are upset about it than what Disney is making it out to be. I think Disney is using this for free publicity for themselves, especially after, this is me not saying that I don't think that having an African American, a black Ariel is not a great decision. I think that's fucking rad. But I think that Disney knows what they're doing, this is a calculated thing that they've done to get some free publicity for a series of movies that is faltering currently. Like Aladdin did well, but it's not as good as the other ones. Lion King is going to do great. Mulan. Maybe we'll see if that's going to do, but they're releasing these two in a year. Too
frequently, yeah.
And we're getting burnt out by these live action remakes. Once we're into,
because even when Disney was doing the 2D animated classics, Aladdin, Lion King, those ones, they didn't come out every year like clockwork. You certainly couldn't count on 2 of them in a year because they took 3 to 5 years to make. And absence makes the heart grow fonder when it comes to that sort of stuff. They did the same thing with Star Wars. We've gotten a Star Wars every single year for the last, 5 years?
Right.
And that's just too much. You don't have any time to build up excitement, to build up anticipation for it. I mean, shit, Star Wars and Empire were, 3 years apart? And Empire and Jedi were 3 years apart? You had time to think about the ideas and to build up some anticipation and a level of excitement for it, because when it came out, it was an event. And now Disney's just churning these movies out. And I think the same thing's going to happen to the live-action remakes that happen to Star Wars. They're going to realize we're doing too much too fast. We've got to slow them down. We've got to scale them back and allow each film to stand on its own and be held on its own merits.
Yeah. Yeah. These movies, there's a lot of conversations about them, that the reason why they're doing this instead of like re-releasing the originals in, 4K, whatever, is because these are just making so much more money for them. I just think I'm just tired of the live action remakes, so I probably won't see it. I'm super excited for it. KK makes a good argument there, and I don't think it's really an argument because I completely agree with you that you probably have the best audition, 100%. 100%. And also, I mean, there's a lot more when it comes to like casting for movies. It's also about like clouts, that kind of stuff.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of things that goes into it, but like deep down, like having worked on
she's
films,
incredible. Have you listened to her sing?
Yes. It's like, yeah. And deep down, like as a filmmaker, I want to believe that they chose the best person that was right for the job. And that person just happens to be African-American. Yeah. Now, maybe at some corporate level, there were discussions about that and potential blowback that might happen. But from the filmmaker's perspective, when you're casting a film or a play or anything else, you are going for who's best for the role. That's it. For the most part.
For movies, no. I disagree. It's gonna be who's gonna sell the most tickets. I mean, it's all...
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though. If that were true, they would have put a bankable name star in the role of Ariel, and they didn't.
But that's part of it, though, is she is a bankable name, not to you, but she has a very big online following that is...
Fair enough, but when I say bankable star, I'm talking about a movie star, the level, like a Meryl Streep or Tom Hanks, like those people. Names
Tom Hanks as Ariel. Fucking Tom Hanks as Ariel, everybody.
You heard it here first.
I want this movie right now.
No,
hold
but
up.
you know what I'm saying? Like people that anybody would recognize because that sells tickets.
Yeah,
especially like in an animated film. Like they put Tom Hanks and Tim Allen in those roles because they felt that those were not only were those people best for the role, but also because they were huge stars, especially Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm. Tim Allen too. Home Improvement was insanely huge.
Yeah, Home Improvement was a big deal. The Santa Claus movies, those were a big deal. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not always the person that's best for the role, but when you cast someone who the average Joe or Jane would not recognize their name on the street, then I have to believe that you're doing that because that's the person that's best for the role.
Yep. Cool.
And in the chat, Sarah says Disney is bankable on their own. They don't need bankable leads. I disagree.
That's not true.
I disagree. I think, yes, Disney, obviously, they're the world's largest entertainment brand. They own half of everything. They're huge, and their name does sell tickets for some people. There are some people that will buy, rent, watch anything that Disney puts out. However, to get people to expand that audience, to grow that audience, you also have to have people that are a name brand star. I think that's important. There's a reason that Will Smith was cast as the genie.
Yeah, I mean, like but on that other front, it's not just star power that sells these things. I mean, this is we're having a very boiled down conversation on the complexities of movie making. Look at, like, if it was only star power or star power was a big portion of it, fucking Solo would have done well. That movie was, like, it still did okay for a Star Wars film. It did not have the numbers that they were expecting or wanted to expect.
I think a good portion of that was because the guy playing Solo is not someone people recognized.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you also had, and
also Star Wars fatigue.
Yeah, so
Those
you
two
had,
things.
But I mean, it wasn't just Solo. You know, it was the people that surrounded it, right?
Sure.
You had Childish Gambino. You had what's her face from Game of Thrones? Daenerys
Oh, yeah,
Targaryen.
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, and you had like who played the robots? Who's the female actress who's?
Oh God.
Anyways, but that's
yeah.
besides the point. You had like a fucking Woody Harrelson was in it.
Which I thought was awesome. I
Yeah.
thought he was great, but
Yeah.
he's great in everything.
But it's not just star power, and I mean like all of these things.
Speaking of which, did you know that there's a Zombieland 2 coming this year?
yeah.
On Halloween.
Oh, what? It's
I'm
a Halloween.
fucking excited for that.
I hope it turns out well.
I think that's gonna be fun. It
That-
might be terrible too, but you know, it's all the same people. It's the same creative team. I'm cautiously optimistic. Some movies I feel like don't need sequels, and I would count Zombieland among them.
Yeah.
However, they did leave it at enough of an open ending at the end of of the first film to where I wouldn't mind seeing more stuff with them.
Yeah. I'm burnt out on seeing 2 Bill Murray zombie films in one year.
Yeah.
He was also in that other one with.
Yeah, The Dead Don't
Adam
Die.
Driver,
Did you
yeah.
watch that?
Yeah, it was good. It was fine. I mean, like, I just don't care about zombies anymore. Like, it was cool right at the beginning.
You're
when
over it.
Zombies were big, and like, especially Zombieland 1. We didn't really see a lot of zombie films. Shaun of the Dead was one of the first ones. I mean, like, you had the classics, right? The horror films.
Yeah.
You didn't
But
have
in
like
term-
the comedy, and,
Right.
And like making it more mainstream.
True.
But like when they made it mainstream, and like especially with The Walking Dead, fucking dug it into the ground. I can't stand zombie anything anymore.
Well, you see, they just I will give Walking Dead credit for something that I think is really cool, and this happened just this last
with
week.
the comic book,
Yeah. So the Walking Dead comic book, I won't spoil it exactly, but the Walking Dead comic book is over. It is done. It has completed its initial run. They did that without any announcement other than saying this episode is the last one. And there's a big plot point that happens in there that I won't spoil for you, but I thought it was pretty awesome and speaks to the level of unpredictability in those types of stories where they can say, where Robert Kirkman said, this is what I want to get out, that things can happen on a dime, and because you're not expecting it, that makes it more interesting. And so, boom, the story's over. Now, we both know that they could have kept printing more Walking Dead stories for probably 10 or 15 or 20 more years, and there would be an audience that would buy them. Mm-hmm. So they are leaving money on the table by taking that option. But I do think it's pretty great that he said, no, we wanted to make sure you didn't expect this, so boom, it's done. I will give serious props for that, because especially in Hollywood or in entertainment overall, you don't see people willingly leaving money on the table like that too often.
I do want to put an asterisk to this because there's also like conversations around the fact that the show was, or the comic book was supposed to end much sooner in his original plan, and then they offered him so much money because it was such a big thing.
Sure.
But he finally ended it after, a long time, and, like the comic book kind of like not being the best, not getting great reviews over years and years of pushing it out. But with that being said, I do agree. I think that artists should be able to finish things. Stranger Things is supposed to end with season 4, but that's most likely going to add a season 5 now. I want things just to end. Just let new ideas come to the surface. I don't want a new Star Wars trilogy. I don't want it. Especially I don't want it by fucking D&D from goddamn Game of Thrones. God. They'll
Hashtag Charles is still pissed off about the Game of Thrones ending.
I get that they want to make a Star Wars film, and they had to finish up their contracts, so they wanted to end the Game of Thrones a little bit sooner. Mm-hmm. I get that. I understand. It's just, I'm sour.
KevCat says, I still love zombies, man. I watch Warm Bodies when I'm sad. That is a great movie. If you haven't seen Warm Bodies, check it out. And Sarah says, double tap. Yes, Zombieland. Love it.
Warm Bodies is
Zombies who fuck.
zombies who fuck.
You just spoiled that movie for her.
It's literally Romeo and Juliet. I think their names are like, her name's Julie. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to look this up.
You're not wrong.
I remember this.
You're not wrong.
Okay, but anyways, we had one last thing that we wanted to go over. That's about it. Marilyn Manson.
Oh, yeah. Marilyn Manson has been cast in the upcoming TV series of The Stand, which is another remake, by the way. But that story is so long that I'm glad they're doing it as a series instead of just like a long movie or a 2-part movie, because that fucking story is like 8 million pages. It's so good, and every page of it is awesome. But I'm glad that they're allowing it to do it justice, because like even with it being 2 movies, they're not telling the whole story. There's still a lot of stuff they're losing.
Who's producing it? Do we know like what is it going to be on? Was it NBC?
It's going to be on the CBS All Access streaming service.
Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head who's involved in it. Let me look it up real quick.
So here's my problem with CBS All Access. All their stuff is trash. Twilight Zone, okay.
You don't like Star Trek Discovery?
I don't.
Oh man, Discovery's fun.
Discovery is it's oh my god.
Tell us your feelings about Discovery while I look this up.
It's the most techno-babble bullshit ever. Like, Star Trek is known and made fun of for its stupid techno-babble bullshit that makes no sense. This show, that's all it is. Red Letter Media did a really good video, like parody video on the actual dialogue that happens within that fucking show. I thought season 1 was fine. And there's some amazing episodes in season 2, but the overarching story makes, like, if you like really like step back and look at all the pieces that they put together, it makes no goddamn sense. And like, here's why it doesn't make sense. They fired the executive producers like halfway through season 2.
Right.
So it was Brian Fuller, and then it was 2 people, and now it's 1 guy. And if you watch I'm kind of paraphrasing from fucking Red Letter Media, because they did a much better job, and they're much, they're just as eloquent as I am. They're not that eloquent spoken individuals. They're funny as hell, but
they're exactly as eloquent.
But
as
they went through and they're like, oh my gosh, let's watch So they have a video where they watched the first episode of season 2.
Stop tapping the table.
There are 10 different, more than 10 different producer roles in the title screen for
That's true.
the show, because there's just so many different voices, and you can tell with the show that there's so many different notes for so many different people, and all of these don't make sense together. And it, like, the actual executive producers did a great job with what they were given, but holy shit, the show is bad. It's my least favorite Star Trek. Least favorite. And it does, I love the characters.
Worse than Star Trek 5?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Okay.
So The Stand. The Stand is an upcoming mini-series apparently being written and directed by Josh Boone. And Josh Boone is best known as the guy who directed the film adaptation of The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah.
So,
I'm into it. And Fault in Our Stars was really good.
I don't know what that has to do with The Stand. The other interesting thing is he also directed the potentially upcoming, maybe canceled, who the fuck knows, movie that was produced by Fox and now part of Disney, Fox's New Mutants, which is slated to be the last of the X-Men related films until they're added to the MCU.
I don't think it's coming out. I think that movie, it's already filmed, it's already like ready to go. I think they wanted to
I think they've gone through at least 1 session of reshoots, and they might have even been doing more reshoots as well.
I don't think it's gonna happen, because in their marketing they made it in their marketing that Dark Phoenix was kind of the last of the X-Men saga. So I think, even though it's
true, but New Mutants has always been like a spinoff. But yes, point is well taken.
So like, I think that Disney's like, we'll cut our losses. We didn't spend this money. Fox did. We inherited it. We can get rid of it.
And to be fair, and to support that point, Disney has already canceled or stopped production of a number of things that Fox had in development before the merger happened.
Most of it. But
however, New Mutants does have a release date still, technically, of April 3rd, 2020.
Jesus Christ.
So time will tell. I would be surprised if it comes out as well. Although I would be excited to see it, because I love the New Mutants. That was a book I read, and I love Anya Taylor-Joy, who is fantastic in Split and Glass. So I'm excited for that.
What's your favorite Marvel property currently. Of all of them, including the Netflix shows, including the AMC shows, including like the Runaways.
Well, there are a number of them that I haven't seen. So like I haven't seen Runaways or Cloak and Dagger or some of those lesser known ones. Out of what I've seen, I would have to say my favorite would be, at least in terms of recent properties, Logan.
Logan is amazing.
Logan was incredible.
I think Logan's incredible. I think Logan and Legion are my two.
And Legion I have not seen, and it's on my list.
Oh my god.
I have been told repeatedly by multiple people, you don't have to tell me in the chat, that I need to see Legion. I'm aware of it. It's on the list, as well as Stranger Things Season 2 and Season 3, because I got an immense amount of shit today at work from people who are upset that I haven't seen Stranger Things and therefore can't talk about it.
Okay, so we're about to finish the show, and I want to really quick have Chris play this level really quick and just kind of see what I'm talking about here. And I'll kind of like, and this is literally the last thing. But
I mean, well, no, so hold on. We have the other thing. We have the indie thing.
Ooh, yes.
Because I want to talk about that, and playing something on the Switch that people can't see is probably not particularly good television.
I had it planned out.
I know you did.
You go.
We need to figure that out. We'll do that next week.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. We'll
get it figured out.
We'll stream it. We'll do all that shit. So I want to talk about independence. And this is actually something that I had wanted to release and talk about on July 4th, until I realized that if I had done it on that day, no one would actually see it or hear it. So, NoCoFM is an independent endeavor. Nobody's being paid, at least as of right now, because we're not making enough money to be paid. Let's just be honest about it. But our goal is to eventually support the people who are working with us, our hosts and our producers and editors, to get to a point where that becomes a sustainable business. And it's going to take a while for us to get there. But we are 100% independent. We don't have any corporate sponsors backing us. We're not venture capital raised or anything like that. We're being funded by Charles and Mai's wallets. And that's fine, because that's the way we wanted it. Recently, another radio organization in Colorado, who rhymes with Rollerado Public Radio, rebranded their independent music station. At the time, it was called Open Air, and it played a lot of the music, in fact, some of which you hear on NoCoFM now, and in some ways were the inspiration for the types of music that you're hearing on NoCoFM. They were a huge influence. On July 1st, that station rebranded, completely unannounced, to being called Indie 102.9 or 3, whatever they are. But they're now indie. That's not only the name of the station, but that's the genre of music that they play. And I have a serious issue with people calling themselves indie or independent that aren't. Mm-hmm. Colorado Public Radio has tens of millions of dollars that they're funded from every year. They're a nonprofit, so good on them, but that also means they get money from the NEA, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, thousands of donators and members from around the state. In many ways, we're trying to do the same thing, but they have an immense level of resources and a level of funding that we couldn't even really dream of. So I have a hard time swallowing the pill of them calling themselves indie. It's just something that kind of sticks in my craw, especially because I read an interview with their new program director who started over the summer, and the choice quote that I saw in an interview that he gave with Westward was to say that we're going to focus on some core artists and build our playlists around that. And for those of you that don't speak radio, what that means is they're going to become just like every other radio station. They're going to have a selection of hits or common songs that they play in pretty heavy rotation, and then build out other stuff around that. But the quote that specifically stuck with me was him saying, we want to build our core artists around great indies like Beck and Radiohead.
Okay. All right.
And I can't think of two artists right now who are further removed from being indie than Beck and Radiohead.
Right.
But both of those two artists have sold millions of records, have got awards out the wazoo, are able to charge $100 and up for their ticket prices. They're anything but independent artists.
Right.
And, you know, when you call yourself indie, it has to be, you know, the indie style of music, which is fine, but also like an independent spirit. And to not really have that spirit and to call yourselves that seems disingenuous to me.
I think
Rant over.
Okay, so my only thing that I will add and kind of be a devil's advocate for, right? I don't think that popularity is a good indicator for independence. Like, for instance, look at Macklemore. I think Macklemore is a good independent artist because he did everything on his own without a record label for the most part. I think he's probably signed at this point. But like while he grew to like up through the fucking whatever that one the Goodwill song.
Oh God, I hate that song.
But like
Yes.
that time where he was like his most popular.
He made it on his own.
He made it. He was an independent artist.
I've got no problem with that.
So I think that the idea of saying that they can't call themselves indie because they have funding is not necessarily the like. I agree with necessarily, but I do agree with you that when the owner of a business says Beck and Radiohead as independent artists, that means you are not aware of the situation as it stands.
Right.
Those are not even what I would consider the indie rock necessarily. Beck kind of has that indie, like as a genre of music.
Right.
They fit in with that more independent rock indie sound. Like same thing with like Dashboard Confessional or even fucking Weezer. Like these would be considered kind of more of the indie rock sounds.
Sure.
But that is such a nebulous concept, indie rock, that I don't think it should be a genre itself. I don't.
No,
think...
it's not because it's too generic. It's
Yeah.
too broad.
But yeah, exactly. It is so broad to say indie. So I do agree with you that they are not necessarily independent at all. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. No, and that's a good point. Point well taken. And yeah, it's not just due to popularity. It comes from a place of really just being authentic about what you are and who you are.
Right. I mean, like
And-
understanding what things are too, I think is very important, because if you're going to call yourselves indie, are they actually focused on independent artists, like actual independent artists?
To the best of my knowledge, no. And what I also thought was telling about that decision was as part of their rebranding. Prior to the rebranding, they had an hour-long show every day at noon called Mile High Noon, where they played nothing but Colorado music. They did not carry that over to the rebranding. Now they have maybe one song every hour or every 2 hours that they are calling the Local 303. And it's no longer a show. It's no longer a destination. It is an occasional song from a Colorado artist. And I have two problems with that. One, Colorado artists need more exposure because there's great music happening here. Number two, saying the Local 303 basically says to anyone that lives here that they're focusing specifically on Denver.
Yep.
And, you know, we're in the 970 area code. There's the 720. There's the 719. That lots of great art is being made in those areas. And whether you mean to or not, by calling it the Local 303, you are excluding those people. And I have an issue with that. So, yeah, I mean, it's fine for independent people to get popular and stay popular and become, like, huge successes. I don't begrudge them that. And they're allowed to call themselves whatever they want to. But I begrudge trading on a term that is intentionally pointed like that is.
Right.
When it's not genuine.
So my question is, what was the reasoning behind it? What was, like, if we think about this, what was their reasoning for moving away from saying Colorado? Was it because they can't market really things outside of Colorado?
Based on that Westward interview that I read, so there were two things that happened. One was the guy who started Open Air and was served as the program director for the station, retired, and got out of radio. So they brought in a new program director, whose name escapes me at the moment, but he has gone to several different markets and done this, basically rebranded the station, and based on that interview, from what I can tell, the intention behind this was to broaden the reach.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I mean, if you're selling a product, even as a non-profit, you want that to reach as many people as possible. And maybe they thought Colorado was too limiting.
Right.
You know what? That's fair, I suppose. But saying we're going to be indie and then saying coming up next is Radiohead, if they're not actually supporting independent artists, then they're kind of turning their back on a community that they helped foster.
Right. I think so. Like from what I see on the outside, yes, they're right, but also like the fact that radio as a whole it's very hard for people to listen to actual like sit down radio anymore
because people are spoiled.
Because
they're used to Spotify.
They have Spotify. Yeah. They have so many other ways of connecting. We've got podcasts. There's a lot of other ways, and to be frank, when it comes to radio, better ways than to listen to a station that you can listen to within 5 miles of the station, right? So I understand that they want to try to reach a more broad audience, and as a business, that makes sense for them. It 100% doesn't make sense for us to make that decision because our goal when it comes to marketing is more focused on the individual shows. So when we're marketing stuff, yes, as a station, we are marketing ourselves, but like as NoCoFM, but we're marketing the fucking shows because that's what's important.
Right.
The actual individuals. And I think that...
And each of the shows has their own audience and their own people who respond to that particular type of programming.
Here's my biggest problem, and I don't know if it's valid, and I want you to tell me if it's not. When it comes to all of their marketing so far, it's always been about the marketing of the individual who has now just come in instead of any of the radio hosts. It's about, listen to this new person who's taken over. Because if you're calling yourself independent, why is there no focus on the individuals?
And that was really telling because prior to the rebranding, which again was not announced, it was just July 1st, we're indie now. For at least 3 weeks, perhaps even a month before the rebranding, all of the DJs were taken off the air. And they played strictly automated music until the rebranding happened. Again, without any sort of announcement or making any sort of big deal about it. I think a couple of days before the first, they started saying like, I heard a promo for, morning shows coming back on the 1st, but instead of being at 9 a.m., it's going to be at 5 a.m. And I was like, wow, that kind of
sucks.
They're kind of shitting on their hosts a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's something to be said about, terrible hosts who have been running a place for a significant amount of time and trying to get those hosts out of there.
I have no legal idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, we cannot legally talk about said issue. But it's something that a lot of these stations, from without saying names, they have an issue with long-standing hosts.
Right.
People who have been doing it for a long period of time, this happens with any business, right? People who have been in the business for such a long period of time that they think that they know what's going on, what people want to listen to, what people are actually listening to. And then you look at the numbers and they're wrong because things change on a consistent basis, very much so. To the point where these radio stations are having issues with retention because they're not bringing in like the new voices or not wanting to spend that time. Now, with a lot of these conversations, now these stations are realizing, oh shit, and I'm sure that this is one of the reasons why they're making this change. It's because they realize that something is wrong pretty much last minute before they're I wouldn't say closing down. I think
They're definitely not in danger of closing down. At least not.
But their bottom line
case.
has probably been hurt significantly because, and they've realized this probably because they have better analytics now that it's not very nebulous trying to get analytics for a radio station.
Right. But what I thought was interesting specifically about CPR is that if they were able to actually read the room, they would see that going broader in terms of programming is not what's working.
No.
What's working is actually going more narrow. Mm-hmm. It's finding a niche, becoming the king or queen of that niche, and just blasting that as high and as loud as you possibly can.
Yes, exactly.
Because if people wanted more radio stations that just played the same 40 songs over and over again, well, guess what? They could listen to any other station and do that. People listened to Open Air because it was something different. Right. And hopefully people listen to NoCoFM because it's something different. And the minute you take that away, then you dilute whatever value your product had.
Yeah, but here's where I stand on everything. I wish this station the best, and I hope they do really freaking well. I really hope that other stations that we cannot name due to legal reasons do really well. And I truly and honestly mean that. And the reason why is because the saying, rising tide rises all boats, is 100% true. That if for some reason all of these stations started dying out, right, and there were article after article saying, oh, this doesn't work, these are all failing, that would be bad for us. That would be bad for us because people would be like, oh, this is just another place that's going to go down. But I hope they can read the room enough to say, hey, these antiquated ways of communication are not working anymore. And I hope that they can realize that soon.
So do I.
So like
because there are good people who work there at all of these places, who deserve to keep doing what they're doing as long as the right circumstances are set up for them to be successful.
Right. And for us, I think we read the room well enough that we can see that if something changes, like for instance, I'm not saying that this is going to happen because I think podcasting is blowing up right now.
No doubt.
If we were at a spot where podcasting was diminishing, like significantly, like it felt the same that radio is right now.
Right.
I think that we would be able to read the room well enough to say, yes, we're going to start broadcasting all of our shows on TikTok at 10 seconds at a time.
Oh my God.
Or find something,
True.
Find whatever that new medium is. And work through that.
The mediums are always evolving. I mean, shit. Like we've been around just barely over a year now, and we're doing live video shows. This is not something we ever even talked about when we were planning on starting the station. You have to adapt to what's changing and what's going on. So I think that's a good thing. One of the benefits that we have of actually being truly independent is we can move. Like we can't match CPR or other people in terms of finances and in terms of resources, but you know what we can do? We can move faster than they can because we don't have the bureaucracy, the money, the limitations that they would have if they wanted to go in a different direction. We can pivot much easier than they can.
Right.
If we decided, and this will never happen as long as I'm part owner of this station, if we decided, hey, country's the big thing, let's just play country music and just do country podcasts, we could do that. And we could do that tomorrow because we have the flexibility of being able to move quickly. So that's something I think that we can do better than everybody else. So whereas you might see some stations saying, we're going to try to embrace the broader areas of society and play more Beck and Radiohead, that's fine. And if they're successful, great. More power to them. KevCat says, country podcasts, I quit. Me too. I
don't quit. That's all I'm going for.
I hate you. But we can move faster, and where they are going to go broader, I think that gives us the opportunity to go narrower, to focus more on independent artists, to focus more on people that aren't signed to major labels or even signed to any label. Like Corbin and I saw a show on Saturday. None of those people are on labels, but they all have band camps. They're all trying to get their stuff out there, and they're good musicians. We should be using our platform to help elevate those people and get those people exposure, because they're the ones who really need it.
Yeah.
Radiohead, and granted, I'm a huge Radiohead fan. I'm not digging on them, but they don't need the money. They're taken care of forever. And with their publishing and everything else, they always will be.
Right.
But someone who is busting their ass and playing shows at dive bars for $50 and a drink or whatever, those are the people who need exposure because they want to make their living doing their art. And that is something that we can help them do.
Right. I have one last thing that this ran a little bit later than what we normally do. We try to keep it around an hour. We're going a little bit later. But I mean, that's with the technical difficulties at the beginning. But I do have one last thing that I am going to say before we finish this up.
Okay.
Tom Hanks as Ariel is the best fucking idea. And if you are watching right now, and I know you are, you have the money, make it happen. Make it fucking happen.
He did do that cross-dressing movie. What was that one? Way back in the 80s. So I mean, it's what I'm saying is there's precedent for Tom Hanks to play a female character.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking. I was like,
Bosom Buddies. That was a TV show. Bosom Buddies. Tom Hanks and Bosom Buddies. He can do it, Disney. You just have to make it happen. And if you make it happen, I just want a finder's fee and like a T-shirt or something.
Tom Hanks and Bosom Buddies. You've got fucking Patrick Swayze and Tu Wong Fu. These are people you can hire. I mean, you can't really hire Patrick Swayze's
Swayze. Dead.
Patrick Swayze's dead.
Rest in peace.
But fucking
Sarah says, "There's a crab in my seashell, bro." That's excellent.
My friend Joel does amazing Tom Hanks impressions. I'm gonna have him.
Can we have him on the show next week?
Maybe.
I
think he's out on vacation
to do
right
Tom
now.
Hanks as Ariel.
I will see. I'm gonna see.
Tune in next week or some point in the future for potentially Joel doing Tom Hanks as Ariel in The Little Mermaid, so we can prove to Disney that this is an idea that works.
Hey, I'm gonna text him right now. Hey, can you do me a favor?
Oh, this is phenomenal television.
Can you send me a snap of Tom Hanks as Ariel from Little Mermaid? I love you. And then I'm gonna send him a eggplant emoji.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
We will see if we can make this happen. But God damn it, I hope that we can make this happen.
Disney, hire us. Get rid of the new Star Wars trilogy. You heard it here first. Charles doesn't want it, so there's no reason to do it.
I don't care. I'm burnt out. I think
I am too. I'm glad that they're concluding the Skywalker saga, but after that, I just wish they'd give it at least like 5 years before trying to squeeze more money out of it.
5? Give it 20, man. I'm serious. Do a time where it's like, oh, this decade we're gonna have 3 Star Wars movies, and then we're gonna leave it be for 20 years. That's what I want. And then, yes, I understand. And especially for these companies who are buying out all the other companies, they want to make sure that they can make the most money possible. And when it comes to reboots and live action remakes and sequels, that's where the money is, because they know that that's very safe for them. However, I think that that's changing. Jesus Christ. I think that's changing just slightly. I accidentally looked over and saw a text message that I should not have.
Wait, which one did you see?
The one with the picture that.
Oh.
Anyways.
Yeah. Live TV, folks.
So here we go. Yeah, I'm just done. I'm done with stuff. I just want new things. I just want if you want something new, science fiction-y, and don't mind subtitles, you can watch the dubbed version. Watch Dark. It's on Netflix. It's 2 seasons. I think they're doing a third, and that's it. It's a time travel show, and it's incredible. It's German. It's gorgeous. I recommend watching it with the original voices and subtitles, but you can listen to it with English voices if you can't stand subtitles. It's really worth it. It is so good.
And yeah, there is really great sci-fi that's being made that is not getting much attention, or at least a ton of attention. I just rewatched Moon the other day. Have you seen Moon?
Moon. That spells moon. That spells pancakes. Moon. That's from the
So
Stand. No, yeah, it's the one with what's his face and Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, with Sam Rockwell.
Yeah,
that's a phenomenal
I owned it on
movie.
Blu-ray. Yeah,
very few people have seen it compared to Star Wars, for example. It was a tiny movie. It was made for like less than $10 million. The guy who made it is David Bowie's son. He also made the Warcraft movie, if that matters to you. But that's a phenomenal sci-fi story.
the Warcraft movie is actually really good.
That's what I've heard. Mostly
It's
from
really
you.
good. It's really good, but people don't like it because they think that they need to follow the lore perfectly. It's not amazing. It is really good.
Anyway, we'll talk about our favorite non-commercial sci-fi movies on another time, but I guess that's going to do it for us. We do this show, like it or not, every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Mountain Time on NoCo.live, which is on Twitch, and it's on YouTube as well. After the show airs, you can catch past episodes on YouTube. We are a radio station and podcast network that is streaming 24/7 at NoCo.fm and wherever you find your podcasts. We have original shows on tabletop gaming hosted by this guy, self-improvement, nonprofits, queer and LGBT music and causes and issues and comedy and all kinds of stuff. And you can find all of that at NoCo.fm. We'll be back here next week, hopefully with KevCat returning.
And hopefully with Tom Hanks.
And hopefully with Tom Hanks as Ariel, and I might play that game that Charles wants me to play. So
I'm going to make you play it.
he's going to make me play it. So tune in then. Until then, we appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you around next time.
I'm going to keep waving until we're done. Bye.